A flamingo's plumage is a distinctive pink color with black flight feathers along the edges of the wings. It has a slender body and very long legs, a long, flexible neck, and a small head. The flamingo's bill has a characteristic downward bend. Compared with its long legs, the flamingo's feet are relatively small. Flamingo, order Phoenicopteriformes. Any of six species is called pink wading birds with thick, down-tuned bills. Flamingos have slender legs, long, graceful necks, large wings, and short tails. They range from about 90 to 150 centimeters, 3 to 5 feet tall. Flamingos are highly gregarious birds. Flocks numbering in the hundreds may be seen in long, curving flight formations and in wading groups along the shore. On some of East Africa's large lakes, more than 1 million lesser flamingos, Phoeniconias minor, gather during the breeding season. Flight. Flamingos present a striking and beautiful sight, with legs and necks stretched out straight, looking like white and rosy crosses with black arms. No less interesting is a flock at rest, with their long necks twisted or coiled upon the body in any conceivable position. Flamingos are often seen standing on one leg. Various reasons for this habit have been suggested, such as regulation of body temperature, conservation of energy, or merely to dry out the legs. To feed, flamingos tramp the shallows, head down and bill underwater, stirring up organic matter with their web feet. They eat various types of food, including diatoms, algae, blue-green algae, and invertebrates such as minute mollusks and crustaceans. While the head swings from side to side, food is strained from the muddy water with small cone-like structures inside the bill. The bird's pink color comes from its food, which contains carotenoid pigments. The diet of flamingos kept in zoos is sometimes supplemented with food coloring to keep their plumage from fading. The greater flamingo, Phoenicopterus roseus, breeds in large colonies on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, and tropical and subtropical America. There are two subspecies of greater flamingo: the Caribbean flamingo, P. ruber, the old world flamingo, P. ruber roseus, of Africa and southern Europe and Asia. The Chilean flamingo, Phoenicopterus canadensis, is primarily an inland species. Two smaller species that live high in the Andes Mountains south are the Andean flamingo, Phoenicopterus andinus, Puna or James's flamingo, Phoenicopterus jamesii. The former has a pink band of ancient yellow wings. The latter was thought extinct until a remote population was discovered in 1956. The lesser flamingo, Phoeniconias minor, which inhabits the Lake District of East Africa, parts of South Africa, Madagascar, and India, is the most abundant. It is also the smallest and the deepest in color. In ancient Rome, flamingo tongues were eaten as a rare delicacy. Flamingos constitute the family Phoenicopteridae, which is the only family in the order Phoenicopteriformes. They are sometimes classified in the order Syconiiformes, herons and storks, but also show similarities to Anseriformes, ducks and geese, Coradiformes, shorebirds, and Pelicaniformes, pelicans and cormorants. Flamingos usually live in large alkaline or saline lakes. They can also be seen in estuaries, particularly in lagoons. Their other preferred habitats include mangrove swamps, tidal flats, and intertidal zones. The presence or absence of food sources also influences their choice of habitat. Flamingos are considered non-migratory birds. However, they can have difficulty finding food or breeding in cold or frozen lakes, so they need to go somewhere with warmer temperatures and water. Changes in the water level of their habitats also cause them to migrate when the lake dries up or overflows. Flamingos need to find another place where the water is high enough for them to wade, feed, and breed in. There are 6 species or types of flamingos. American or Caribbean flamingo, Phoenicopterus ruber-caribbean, southern Florida, coastal Colombia, northern Brazil, Venezuela, Belize, and the Galapagos Islands. Andean flamingo, Phoenicopterus andinus, Peru, Chile, Bolivia, and Argentina. Chilean flamingo, Phoenicopterus chilensis, South America. Greater flamingo, Phoenicopterus roseus, Africa, southern Europe, and South and southwestern Asia. James's or Puna flamingo, Phoenicopterus jamesii, Peru, Chile, Bolivia, and Argentina. Lesser flamingo, Phoeniconias minor, Africa, and northwestern India. Aside from algae and brine shrimp, Flamingos eat small seeds, other small crustaceans, animals and plants in shallow waters. Because of this, they filter feed. Flamingos place their head upside down in the water with their bent bill pointed at their feet. They then move their heads side to side, using their tongue to pump water in and out of their beak. Their bills have cone-like plates along the edge that trap food inside while allowing water to escape. Flamingos are thought to have one of the longest lifespans in the avian world, since some birds of the species are said to have reached 70 years. However, experts have not yet determined how long flamingos live on average. Although you may often see flamingos in water, they love flying. They can fly long distances at high altitudes, day or night. Young birds can start flying from 2 to 3 months. These majestic birds stand on one leg to reduce their muscle fatigue. They can lock their ligaments and tendons in position, helping to maintain their balance longer when sleeping or resting. They can reduce the effort they put into it, so they stand only on one leg. Flamingos are well adapted to the environment in which they live. They have developed these essential qualities: thermoregulation, aside from enabling flamingos to maintain their stability and energy, standing on one leg, which involves curling the other one in their body, helps facilitate thermoregulation by keeping the foot warm and conserving body heat. Respiration. Flamingos breathe through their lungs and hold their breath when they are underwater filter feeding, wading, and swimming. The long legs of flamingos allow them to wade into deeper water than other birds. They swim on the surface while eating if the water is too deep. Their web feet allow them to swim and support them on soft water, adapting to hyposaline in hot environments. Since flamingos change their habitats frequently and often stay in high saline environments, they develop the ability to drink salt water. They excrete the excess salt through their salt glands. These birds can also drink extremely hot water. Flamingos are good at building nests. They use stone, mud, feathers, and other materials they find to build a nest near water where they can lay and protect their egg. Flamingos dance to attract mates. Males and females dance in groups and use elaborate movements as part of a courtship ritual. They are seasonal monogamous, meaning they stay with a mate for only one season. However, some flamingos have been observed to be with the same partner for several years.